Here are 9 life hacks that I've adopted into my life that are a little bit weird, but have allowed me to scale my business faster without totally turning myself into a monk. Right? These are things you can adopt into your lifestyle, and I'm going to start from things that are very hard to things that you can just change today. Right? These are things that allowed my business to scale to $50K per month, and there's a lot of activities. So to preface, some of the things that I do is when you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you want time is your most valuable asset, right? And your time and your attention and energy, right? And so all these things are, the time that you spend walking, driving, all these things, you need to take into account, because the 30 minutes that you're driving to the gym, 30 minutes you're back, that's an hour that you can put back into this business. And how much money would you charge hourly, right? And so for me, I like to live in places where I can walk to the gym within 10 minutes. That food is within reach, right? I don't want to have to think about food. I don't want to have to think about the gym or commute or any of those things. Everything is just within arm's reach, right? And then I can focus all my time on the business, right? But then these are the other lifestyle choices that I've adopted to make sure that I can scale my business with at least this amount of distractions as possible. The first one, hardest to do, obviously, is NoFap. If you want to scale your business, I started NoFap in college, saw the greatest change in my life was you just have more increased focus and energy. You're not watching porn, you're not busting nuts, you're not smashing girls, you're not talking to any girls. You're on NoFap. You first of all don't spend time with females. You're just gonna have way more time and energy, and you're gonna put it more back into the business. Right? Simply said. If you don't believe it, okay, don't believe it. But if you try once in your life, you're gonna see the benefits. The next thing is live just beyond your means, right? Like, don't go overboard, right? I don't advise people spending a bunch of money for no reason. But if you put yourself in mild discomfort with people that are doing better than you, you're going to want to get better, right? So, what that means is, like, for me, like, I went to Dubai with my friends for like 2 months, and I was like, oh my God, these people are so inspiring. I need to level up in my business, right? Next thing is invest in progress or monetary punishment. Right. What I mean by this isn't like, hey, if you lose a bet, if you don't wake up before, X amount of time, give $50 to your friend. You can do that. But what I mean actually instead is you want to keep yourself accountable to your goals. So let's say, like, you want to get better at sales. Okay. Put ad spend, invest into your business. And so if you don't get better at sales, you take all these calls, you burn all the money, you screw yourself. So if you take a lot of sales calls and you're burning a bunch of money, then you're still investing in yourself, but you're investing in your progress, right? You're forcing yourself to become better. You're holding yourself accountable, right? So I don't know, just put money behind it, right? So money on ads, or invest in a mastermind, right? Force yourself to become better, right? Put yourself in a very expensive gym, right? And one thing that I also do is I just eat one meal a day. I think about one meal, and I have one meal only. That means the rest of the day I'm fasted, and that I just have one meal. And if I were to have carbs or something like that, like you have your post-food coma that you have after your meal, you only have that once in the day, to where you're not freaking useless after you eat, right? What this also does is it proves your discipline. People back then, when they were cavemen, only had one meal per day because they were going to hunt. Now you're a fat fuck eating McDonald's lunch. You wake up, ingest a bunch of sugar into your body, and then dinner, you're eating another steak meal. No, you're supposed to eat one meal per day. That's how your ancestors did, right? Don't let the media lie to you. The next thing is stop eating carbs. Real reason to why you're bloated and you don't feel good after you eat is because you're eating so much processed food, and most importantly, processed carbs. Right, so stop eating carbs, stick with protein and fats. You're going to have just improved metabolic health. You're going to feel better, and you're not going to have a food coma after every meal that you have. Right, you combine these two, and boom, so much better. You're probably going to lose some fat in the process as well, become leaner. So the next thing is get an expensive gym membership. Why? Because you're not going to be surrounded by brokies and people in the expensive gym. They're going to do better. They're going to care about the same things that you care about, right? And you won't skip workouts because you're like, I spend so much on this gym, I'm not going to skip a workout, right? So you're going to increase the commitment also, and the people that you're going to around be so much better, and you're going to push yourself a lot more, right? And the next thing is learn martial arts, right? So like, do something outside of the gym, right? Improve your discipline, learn self-defense. I just personally, preach by this, is because every time I, I trade boxing or Muay Thai, is you are never the best, right? In the gym, everyone pushes the same weights, right? But more or less. But here, I'm always humbled, right, by people doing better than me. And blackout curtains, you can just buy blackout curtains, and you're simply just gonna get better sleep and recovery. Right? There's no brainer. Stop watching TV and listening to music. Decrease the dopamine in your life, man. Like, go to the gym without music, right? There's fewer distractions. You're gonna have more dopamine, so you can actually do work. And then lastly is I just wear one color, which is black. I buy one T-shirt. When I wake up, I don't worry about anything. I just wear the same damn thing every single day.